Hi, I'm Jessica with Southern Dreaming Homes, and today I wanted to bring you a real estate update for the single-family home market in Brentwood, Tennessee. First, we're going to take a look at what prices are doing. Last month, the median sales price in Brentwood was $1,125,000. This is up 21% from January of last year. So when you compare January of last year to January of this year, we see quite a significant increase. However, if you break it down month by month, the market kind of did a little bit of this. We saw some ebbs and flows as prices fluctuated up and down. Next, if we take a look at what percentage of the original list price homes are selling for, we've seen a change in that from this year to last year. Last month, that figure was 94%. Compared to January of 2022, homes were selling for 100% of their original list price on average. This meant that when a home was listed, the closed price was 100% of what that seller was initially asking for when it hit the market. So what this change means is that buyers have a little bit more room to negotiate, and sellers are having to give a little bit and come off of their original list price. Next, we're going to take a look at some of the general market conditions in Brentwood. The number of homes for sale was up 14% from where it was in January of last year. What this means is that there's more homes on the market at any given time. This gives buyers more options, but it puts a little bit more pressure on sellers with there being less competition for buyers to pick from. Looking at the number of homes that closed, in January of this year, that was down 35% from where it was in January of last year. While this might seem like a drastic decrease, it's kind of hard to use this as a gauge for what the rest of the real estate market is going to look like this year. January and February are always the slowest months in our market, so we'll really have to wait till spring to see how things pick up if it's going to look more like a normal year in our market. You're probably wondering, what does this mean for you? Well, if you're a buyer, things are much less stressful than they have been in the last couple of years. There's a lot less competition and no more feeding frenzies. Buyers have the time to really look at multiple properties and think through their decisions rather than just jumping into writing an offer. They also have the room to negotiate a little bit more. In the past couple of years, it wasn't uncommon to see multiple offers above asking price and waiting important things like an appraisal and an inspection. Now buyers have room to perhaps come in at or below asking sometimes and ask for those important things again. They also might have the chance to ask for some seller concessions in order to make the process a little bit easier on their end. Prices have also come down from the height of the market of where they were in the last summer, so buyers are enjoying that aspect of things as well. While rates are higher than they were at the start of last year, they've come down from where they were in the fall, and they're hovering around 6% now. This is starting to feel a little bit more normal and comfortable for buyers. So overall, buyers have more power now than they have in the last couple of years, and the process is a little bit less stressful as they're trying to find their perfect dream home, not having to just rush into a decision. So what does this mean for sellers? Well, it's becoming increasingly important that sellers present their homes in the best possible light. This includes updates, repairs, staging, and importantly, listing the home at the proper price in addition to professional marketing. When it comes to selecting a listing price, it's becoming increasingly important that sellers take the time to consider what the current market conditions are. Rather than pushing the envelope like they have in the past few years, sellers need to be in tune with the current market and list their home at the proper price in order to maximize buyer appeal. Additionally, sellers need to be willing to negotiate with buyers. It's possible that your home won't go under contract at 100% of your original list price. Sellers have to be willing to negotiate some on price and also concessions, such as perhaps paying for the buyer's closing costs. While this might be a little bit scary for some sellers, it's also important to remember that home prices have gone up by nearly 95% in Brentwood since 2020. Another big change for sellers is the days on market. It's becoming the norm for some sellers to have their homes on the market for weeks or even months, so sellers have to reframe their expectations that it could take a little while longer for their home to sell. While things have changed a lot in the market, it's still a good time to sell a home. But sellers just need to be aware of these changes in order to maximize the appeal to buyers. So what you probably really want to know is, what is the market going to do next? Well, it's a little bit hard to say at this point. As I mentioned earlier, January and February are typically the slowest months in the Brentwood real estate market. So it's a little bit hard to predict the future. However, as things start to pick up in March, April, and May, we're going to see a little bit of traction and get a better grasp as to what the rest of the year is going to look like and how it compares to past years. What we do think is going to happen, though, is things are going to continue to balance between buyers and sellers. We're going to continue to see the playing field even out a little bit throughout the rest of this year. Additionally, we expect that prices are going to fluctuate somewhat as they have been over the last 9 or so months. If you have any questions about Brentwood or the real estate market in general, please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.